Okay, fine. Good morning, all. Last time we seen a complete program of class and object. The first program for you in C++ language. Isn't it? Yes or no? At least this one. So we discussed the program of how to create class. After creating the class means we have declared the class. Box. Example was box. We can create any class similar to that. So class box. Inside class box, what we did? We declared the members. We declared members like we declared attributes. We declared operations like functions for this term. And then we defined the functions outside the class. That also we can do it within the class also, but we have understood how to do it outside the class. Later on, we had created object of the class, isn't it? Because object of the class is required. Otherwise, there is no use of class. Because actually, class is a 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 absolutely Darshan, you are perfect. Class is a template. Class is a template, a very shortest definition. Yes, that definition, long definition is also correct. Class is a collection of data members or attributes and functions. Okay, that is also correct. But what we said, class is a template. That means there is no use of template until and unless we make an object of the class. So for that we created object of the class. That is B1 box B1. Okay, let me share my screen. Let us have a look at the program. So this was the program which we discussed last time. Isn't it? Just have a look at it. Because I am going to discuss few more concepts related to class objects today. So this was if I discuss, this was the class defined. Then outside the class we have defined the functions of the class which we have declared in the class, and then we wrote void main function. In void main we declared object of the class, and using object of the class we have accessed the members of the class like b1 dot get dimension. So using object b1 we called the function get dimension of class box. Same way b1 dot volume, b1 dot area. Same way we created second object box b2. We did the same for box b2. Is it fine, everyone? But my main concern for now is, now we are going into technical details of object now. Actually, have you written the definition of object? Object definition. Just write down. Use the heading object. Use the heading object. And write down the definition for object. It is the most easiest definition of C++. Object is an instance of class. Please note down the definition. Object is an instance of class. Fine. Okay. Then write down the example. Box B1. Now you tell me what is object in this. B1 is object, but at next level I will say B1 is also not object. We will be speaking, we will be speaking that B1 is object, but Technically, today in the next level, I will explain that actually B1 is also not object. So what is object? Don't worry, don't worry. In our general routine, we always say that B1 is an object. Like just tell me, okay, I don't want to go into that detail. Okay. So now my question is, what happens when I write box B1? What compiler will do? That is our main thing to learn. Object बनावा तो it is easy. Anyone can do it. Even BCA, MCA student can also do this thing. But our main task to learn is what happens when we define an object or we declare an object. Internally, at computer hardware level, what happens when we write box B1? Can anybody state? Especially, yes, please. Perfect. When I say box B1, it will allocate certain amount of memory to that object. You getting my point? When I say box B1 means when box object B1 is created, at that time there will be certain amount of memory. Now question is certain means what amount? You getting my point? I am saying at this point certain amount of memory will be allocated. But question is what certain amount? Can anybody say? Certain amount of memory means what amount? Certain what? Certain amount. Size of? Absolutely correct. Size of members. Now you tell me in this example what members are there. Can I say all these are members? No, variables and functions. But we will not consider functions at this stage. So exclude function in the size. So if I exclude functions in the size, then what is remaining? Members, variables. Now how much these members will occupy memory? Float length, float breadth, and float height. Can I say each occupies 4 bytes? So how many total bytes? 12 bytes are allocated for object P1. Did you get my point? Everyone, please, these are very technical things. If you have any doubt, please clarify your doubt immediately. Okay, fine? Should I move further? So what happens when I write box B2? You are speaking something. What happens when I write box B2? Sorry? More 12 bytes are allocated or it will be using those 12 bytes allocated for B1? What my question? My question is, when I wrote box B1, so we described that 12 bytes will be allocated. Do you agree? But now I am writing box B2. What will happen? Another 12 bytes. It will not use the 12 bytes allocated for B1. So separate 12 bytes are allocated. Separate. So B1 has also 12 bytes separate. B2 has also 12 bytes separate. Is it fine? But question again comes. So do you have questions every time? Yes, I have questions every time. Actually, you should have those questions. Sir, you said 12 bytes separately are allocated. Where they will be allocated? In memory, it is fine. But in memory, where? Will it be sequential? Nobody knows. Only operating system knows where those 12 bytes are allocated. So now comes the concept of operating system, which is the subject of study for your next semester. Okay, there are various algorithms for allocating memory. Okay, which you will be studying in your next semester. That's fine. So as of now, you need to have a knowledge that when I say object of the class is created, memory will be allocated for the objects separately. That's fine. Where right now we don't know. Perfect. Should I move further? Okay. No. Still, I don't want to move further. Okay. So when I said box B1, at that time, can I say B1 object will be created and length, breadth, and height will be created. 4 bytes separately. See the representation. Consider this Excel to be your memory. Consider this Excel sheet to be your memory. So 12 bytes will be allocated for LBH where we enter the values, let's say equals to 10, equals to 20, equals to 30. Even same way it occurs for B2. Do you agree with this? The values might be different. Yes or no? Do you agree with this? Now my question comes, what is B1? What is B2? What is B1? What is B2? Object of the class box. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Now I am saying B1 and B2 are not objects. Can I say Akhil is an object of class student? Yes or no? Yes. Can I say Shobhit is a object of class student? Yes. Do you agree with this? Yes. Do you agree with this? Yes. Akhil. I am calling Akhil. I am calling Shobhit. Means what? Actually, Akhil is not object. If I remove the name Akhil, is that so that student is not going to be there? If I remove name Shobhit, do you think that, say for example, I somehow remove his name of Shobhit, do you think by removing the name, he is not there? You got my point. मैंने अखिल का नाम डिलीट कर दिया, अभी अखिल को कोई अखिल से बुलाएगा नहीं. Does that mean मैंने उसका नाम डिलीट कर दिया कि अभी अखिल को मैं अखिल से नहीं बुलाऊंगा? तो does that mean that अखिल is not there? Akhil is there. Then what Akhil I am using for? नहीं आता आंसर ना, हम आपको बोलेंगे. What Akhil we are using it for? Say for example, you want to call me. You are calling it by my name. If I don't have my name, then does that mean I am not there? There should be something to call me. Actually, I am there, but for me, for you to call me, you are calling it by my name. That means you are calling by means of a reference. Akhil is reference to call this person. Shobhit is reference to call this person. So what is B1 now? What is B1 now? Reference, or you can say it to be an handle of the object. I got the new term, handle. Reference or handle. is B1 now? Reference of the object. See, that's why I explicitly wrote it separately in the Excel. B1 is written separately because B1 is pointing to this L. Actual object is this LBH. What is actual object? Actual object is this. But to point to this object, we are giving some reference name that is B1. If you get my point technically, this is what is technicality. Actually, what is B1 now? Reference to the object or handle of the object. Actually, it is not object. Do you agree? Everyone? Everyone? Should I move further? But this is a technical part. But for our further references, when we study further, at that moment of time, we'll speak like that only. B1 is object. Okay. બોલવા માટે તો આપણે એમ જ બોલશું B1 object. But technically B1 object નથી. What is B1? Reference to that object. Is it fine? Everyone? Should I move further? All of you? Okay then. Again, one more thing I want to clarify. Can I say when I am making an object of the class, okay, so now when I say I have created two objects for the class, one is B1 and another is B2. Do you agree? So can I say L is having its own separate memory, B is having its own separate memory, H is having its own separate memory for B1 object? Same way, L is having its own separate memory for B2 object. So can I say when I create objects of the class, objects of the class, at that time separate memories for the members are created? Do you agree with this? All of you? Keep this thing in your mind, because I am moving to the next concept which will somewhat contradict to my statement. That's why. So what happens when object is created? Separate memory is allocated for the object members, class members. Is it fine? Okay, let's move further. Now I am writing a new program. Just go through it. I am writing a new program. I am keeping this as it is. Okay, I am writing a new program. Is it visible? I'm making a class named as test, wherein I am declaring a member integer code. It's a simple program. It is not like something real-time application, just a simple concept, simple program to make you understand a new concept. Okay. Now I am having one more variable named as count. One is code and another is count. What is this? Function. Can I define function within the class? Yes. Yes, I can. Okay. Now I am writing, what is the name of the function I had given? Set count. What is the name given? Set count. Okay. What it is going to do? Sorry. Set code, not set count. Set code. So what it is going to do? It is going to set the code. Let's say code equals to count. What it does? What it does? It stores the value of count to code. You agree with this? Okay. Okay. I'm writing one more function, void show code. What should I do in this? Cout code equals to some value, that is code itself. Is it fine? What is the use of handle? Change the line. Next line. Go to next line. Any doubts with this? Any doubts with this? Okay. No doubts. Now I am writing void main and making object of the class. Test, let's say T1, and I am writing T1 dot set code, and I am writing T1 dot show code. Is it fine? Question comes. Where will we be getting the value of count? Have I entered? Have I entered? No, I have not entered. Then what should we do? Then what should we do? Now I am introducing one keyword in front of you. I'll show you the various usage why we are going for this concept. Okay. I am introducing one keyword. Perfect. What is the name of the keyword? Static. What do you mean by the term static? Fixed. Okay, so not constant. I'm not saying it to be constant, but type value check, type fixed check. So આપણે બોલીએ static and dynamic. Over here I am saying it to be static. Now when I declare any variable to be static, it is automatically initialized with 0. Do you agree with this? Whenever I declare any variable to be static, it is automatically initialized with value 0, but still not. For that I need to write one more line. This is what is termed as declaration of variable, static variable. I need to initialize it outside the class, compulsorily in C language. In other languages, no need to go for that. But in C++, it is compulsory for us to initialize the value of static variable outside the class. How? What is the variable name? Int count. Int count. Count is of which class? So test colon count. Yes or no? Do you agree with this? That's it. So what is the meaning of doing this twice? How બે વાર કરવાની શું જરૂર છે? Is their syntax what they had given? That's why we need to follow. Okay, કારણ તો કાઈ નથી. બરાબર, પણ એનો કોઈ આવું કીધું છે કરો. As per syntax. If you declare any of the variable to be static, then you need to declare it outside the class before accessing it. Okay, so that's why we have declared outside the class also. Now what happens? I have changed something in my set code. Now you have to tell me the output of this program. समझी ना आंसर आप जो just think before you give the answer. We'll execute it, don't worry, but think before giving the answer. The code is completely in front of you. Think of the execution of the program line by line. Start with the first line. Where it will start? Void main. What is the first line of void main? CLRS here. Means it will clear the screen. Next. Test. What will happen when I write test T1? Allocate the memory of object T1. How much memory now? How much memory? Just think and then answer. That's why I said think twice before giving the answer. What I will explain, how memory is defined, how memory is allocated. We need to see the class members. From the class members, we need to exclude functions. So how many members left out? 2 members. Which are they? Which are they? Code and count. Yes or no? So how many bytes will be allocated? Integer. 2 bytes. So how many bytes? 4 bytes for T1 and 4 bytes for T2. Yes or no? 4 bytes for T1 and 4 bytes for T2. Now, it will allocate 2 bytes for T1 and 2 bytes for T2 and separate 2 bytes for count. Because count is a static member of the class, means what? That memory location will be shared by all the objects. Sir, ना समझा મને ખબર પડી જ જાય. Hello. When I say T1 is created, at that time, can I say code is there? If it is non-static, forget about static. So શું થશે? Code and count will be there for T1. Same way, if I go for T2, then code and count will be there. Do you agree? But as I made count to be static, this will not happen. Only one time memory for the count will be allocated, which will be shared by all the objects. Which will be shared by all the objects of the class. T1 પણ count ને આજ access કરશે, T2 પણ આજ count ને access કરશે. It will not change. Is it fine? Do you agree with this? So, if you are saying that it is something like this, it is not belonging to the member of the object. Object to member નથી now count. Then how we can access it? Normal, જેમ access કરો છો એમ જ. Let's go to the program. See, I had accessed it to absolutely in a normal state. Is it fine? કાઈ change નથી એમાં. હા, એક change એવો છે. The change over here is, if this would have been a public. So આખું public, I am writing this completely to be in public section. like this. I'm writing, sorry. Now, everything is public. Assume this. If you remember the concept of public, then I could have write something similar to this over here. P1 dot code equals to 5. Can I write like this? Public and private. Yes, it is public. Can I access it outside the class? Yes. But what about count now? Code I can access it. How I can access count? How I can access count? As count is static, so I cannot access it within using object of the class. You understand that? As count is static, see, count is static what I have declared. So I cannot access it outside the class without using objects. Okay, so this is a wrong statement. I cannot write like this. P1 dot count. Why I cannot write like this? Why this is wrong? Because count is static. Is it fine, everyone? Okay then. So now this is our program. How this is going to work? Let me again go for that part only. Let me make this to be Do you agree with this now? Let us save the program. Let us open our Turbo C. Is this our program? Let us compile it. No errors. Let us run it. Code equals to 1. Code equals to 2. Is it fine? So can we print count? Yes, we can print count. Why cannot we? It's fine. Love you. Any doubts? Sir, can you tell the real-time application of static? Some real-time application, yes, one of the benefits. That is what you are saying benefit. That if I use static, then memory occupancy will be less. But every time it is not true. Can I say you all students in the class are objects? You all share a common thing named as semester. You all share a common thing, semester, that is 3. In such cases, I can make that variable to be static. Where the application is some common things are shared by all the objects, that thing I need to make it static. Another real-time example. You go to a bank, you go for opening a fixed deposit account, rate of interest for all the person who go for opening account remains the same or it changes with person. So in that case, what I need to do? I need to use that rate of interest variable to be static. But if I go for taking home loan, then rate of interest for everyone is different. So at that time, I cannot make that to be static. So while declaring a variable or member of the class, think that is it going to be shared common by all or not? If being shared by all, then make it static. If it is not being shared by all, then make it non-static. What's the application where we can use this concept of static? Is it fine? Can I move further? Okay. You tell me what we have made static. કોને આપણે static બનાવ્યું? Count. What is count? Variable. Variable. Can I say data member? Data member, we have made it static. Same way we can make function static. For function static, yes, we can make a function to be static. Static void show count. Static function. I wrote keyword static before the function. See to this static void show count. Well, what is the benefit of this now? As of now, I cannot say, or I should not say the benefit. As of now, I am saying that static functions can access static members of the class only. Repeating my point again. Static functions can access static members of the class only. It cannot access non-static members. Is it fine? So, can I say count is static? That's why I am able to access the count variable in show count function. But what is code now? What is the type of code? Static, non-static? Where I have accessed? In static function. It is wrong. A static function can access static members only. See the error? Member code cannot be used without an object. Means in static function, if I want to access non-static member, then compulsorily I need to have object. Then and only then I can access the member of the class. Otherwise not. So static member functions can access what? Static variables, static members. But if I want to access non-static members, then if I want to access code over here, this is correct. Why? See, no error. So what I wanted to say, if I want to access non-static member within static function, I should have object of that class. Then I can access it. Directly I cannot access. Is it fine? So two conditions are there in front of you, and these are very what we can say. These conditions will make you confused. What are those conditions too? Number one, static member can access. Static function can access static members. Okay, so count can be accessed. But non-static members can be accessed only using object of the class in the static function. Here, that's why I have declared the class, object of the class test. Is it fine? Is it fine? Okay. Okay. Now, see, this is now correct. But if I don't write this and I try to access code, it is not permitted because it is non-static member. Is it fine? Any doubts with this? Sorry? No, we cannot write function outside the class. There is no possibility like that way. Is it fine? Okay. Should we move further? Should we move further? Please write down this example. Now let me show you the output also. Sorry, one thing left out. Sorry, one thing left out. How to call the function show count? How to call the function show count? T1 dot show count? No. Show count is which type of function? Static. So static function does not have objects. It cannot be accessed using objects. It can be accessed using the class name itself. Like this. Fine. So static functions can be accessed using the class names only. Is it fine? Let me compile it. Let me run it. Code 1, count 1. That means static function call. Then code 2, count 2. Is it fine? Please write down this example. And in this point, at this point, in static function, the line which I have commented, that line also write it and mention the error record. Mention the error why we are commenting, why we cannot access code, so that at your future reference you can know. So please note down the program. So when you define a class, always think that what members are to be kept static and what members are to be not are kept to be non-static. As I said an example, if something is going to remain common, that is rate of interest for every atom, remains common for all the customers. So make it static. But if you go for rate of interest for home loan, then it is not fixed for all. Okay, so don't make it static. So always remember what to make static and what to not make static. So any doubt to this? Right? Okay. Let's move on to a very small concept today. Last concept for today. Moving to our previous example. Box class. We already discussed this. Okay, so this is our class, box. We have discussed to create an object of class, box B1, box 2, B2. Say for example, I am having 5 box then. Say for example, I am having 5 box. So do you think I need to declare this thing? B2, B3, B4 and B5? Yes or no? Yes or no? And then I need to repeat this part for all. Yes or no? Instead of this, what I do is what is this? Array of the objects normal, like what we do in our normal data types. Integer a of 5. Over here it is box b of 5. Do you agree with this? Now rest remains the same. Sir, how we can do this? Okay. For int I equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. For loop started. Detail of box I plus 1. Yes or no? And b1 dot get dimension, or what I need to write? B of I dot get dimension. Same way, b1 dot volume, what I need to write? B. Is it fine? Yes or no? So it's now simple for us. The job is done. This is nothing but termed as array of objects. Array of objects. Very simple. Do you agree with this or not? Now, for the time being, instead of going for 5 boxes, I am going for 3 boxes only. Let us compile it. No change, no error. Everything is similar to previous arrays. Detail of box 1. 1, 2, 3. Detail of box 2. 10, 20, 30. Is it fine? Detail of box 3. 100, 200, 300. Simple. If you get acquainted with one concept, then more or less in other language it will be similar only. Just the syntax may change. Just everything remains the same. Array was in C also. Array is there in C++ also. What is array? Array is a collection of elements of the same data type of fixed size stored in sequential manner. Perfect. Any doubts to this? Today we stop here. Just do one thing.